Welcome back to Perkins Pipes. There's one pipe that I've had on this channel more than any other, and it is this, the Bing's favorite from Savinelli, the smooth billiard. There's a rusticated version of this, but I preferred the smooth. And it has received some, probably more comments than any other pipe featured on this channel. Like I say, it's been in more videos. I keep a spreadsheet of the themes and the pipes that I smoke, so kind of just tracking that for my own interest, and this has been in more videos than any other. So why bring it back? You're about to find out. As always, folks, let's get this guy lit. Let's get to talking. Now, I have to say that of all the pipes I've got, I believe I've got a little over 30. Which I know is not a huge collection compared with some of you folks out there. I don't think, I'm trying to think, is this safe to say, is this really true? I don't think there are any that I don't like. All right, I enjoy all of them. Definitely, there are some I enjoy more than others. And I will say what makes me enjoy a pipe more or less is how it smokes, the draw and so forth. And of course, I enjoy how it holds in the hand. We've talked about that, the shape, the look, all that sort of stuff. But really, the number one criterion for me is how the pipe smokes. In terms of my enjoyment of it. So there are some that I would approach more. Notice the name of this video. But I started thinking about this recently. When we ran into a dear friend of ours outside of the normal orbit where we tend to encounter this friend. So at the time of the recording of this video, just shortly before this, my wife and our two young adult children and I had all gone to the Indiana State Fair, something we love doing every year. Now, while we were there, we ran into a friend of ours, principally a friend of my wife and me, but our children know him as well, that we know from the academic world. And this fellow, his name is Jeremy, works with the 4-H and the judging of all the competitions and so forth. He runs a couple of particular 4-H competitions at the state fair. And we knew that about him. In fact, we've seen him there before. But our principal interaction with him is in the academic world. He's a teacher, educator. He's in the Latin world. So anyhow, that's how we know. Anyhow, we were there, getting close to the end of the day for our time at the state fair. Saw Jeremy coming around the corner. Immediately, I called out to him. He immediately turns around, big smile on his face. He comes over, and we're standing there talking, I don't know, 20 minutes, half hour, whatever it was. And it was clear that we were excited to see him, and he was excited to see us. I went out of my way to call out to him, get his attention, and he made it a point to come over and spend some time with us. He was headed to 4-H office, I believe, something else he needed to do, but he stopped, came over, spent some time with us. And I was thinking about that on the way home, and a story came to mind from back when I was a boy. My mother had to go in for some, I believe it was some oral surgery. So my dad and I were at the, I don't know, it wasn't dentist office, but whatever, the oral surgery place. And we were kind of, sitting around, walking around, kind of waiting for my mom to be done. And as we were walking around, my dad saw a man and a woman that he and my mom knew and that he wanted to avoid. So we ducked around a corner. I don't know if we went up or down a set of stairs, and kind of almost as if we were in a movie. We're peeking around, waiting to see when these people would leave so that we could come back out. Told that story for years in our family. Always found that so amusing. Now, why was it? Why did my dad want to avoid those people? Well, he knew that they were both rather nosy individuals. He also knew that my mom's a rather private person. So, and not that it was necessarily any of their concern to begin with, but he knew that if they had seen him, they would have immediately asked, "Oh, what are you doing here?" Somehow it would have come back to my mom. "Oh, what's going on with her? What's happening with her?" And he knew these folks well enough to know that it wasn't just out of good-hearted concern, but it was just out of plain old-fashioned nosiness. So he knew that about them. He knew my mom, his wife, was a private person, and so to avoid that, we just avoided those people entirely. Of course, as a boy, I thought this was really terribly exciting stuff. Oh, here's my dad and I, right? We're sneaking around, we're hiding around stairwells and trying to avoid these people. I thought it was exciting, but also terribly funny. And I got to thinking about that after our encounter with our friend Jeremy. There are some people that you approach and some people that you avoid. Sort of as it is with pipes, I suppose. For some reason, I have approached the Savinelli Bing's favorite more than any other in terms of my videos. Now, I don't know in terms of my personal smoking. There's others that probably have smoked as much, but and there are some that I tend to avoid for certain reasons. Maybe I'm like, hey, I really want a long smoke. This is too small a bowl. Don't want that right now. Some that maybe is a little bit more challenging on the draw, and I don't want to fight that right now. I want a nice, smooth, easy smoke. Whatever, right? So there's some that I avoid, some that I approach. Already, I'm sure you're thinking, maybe about your pipes, but you also may be thinking about people. Who are those people in your life that you approach when you see them across the way at the grocery store? You see them out and about. You go to a concert, you go to a movie, and you see them, and you go out of your way to say, hey, and you want to get their attention. Now, who are those people you know? You want to avoid contact with them. If you see them, you're like, oh, let's hurry up and get to the car. All right, I don't want to be spotted. Okay? Now, as you're thinking about that, what are the reasons for each? Why are you drawn to the people that you go out of your way to approach? Why do you avoid certain people and go out of your way to stay away from them? What are the characteristics of their personality? What do you know that you will or will not get into in terms of a conversation that makes you approach or avoid certain people? Now, if there was somebody that I would have a tendency to avoid, I'd like to think that if I saw that person on the side of the road having trouble, that I would still pull off and help that person. So we're not talking about showing charity and love and grace and so forth, but just in terms of a social situation, okay. There may be some people I would prefer to avoid and some people I prefer to approach. Now, you know where this is going. Which category do you think you fit into? With your friends and family and acquaintances, are you the kind of person that people go out of their way to hail and to get your attention? Do people want to spend time with you? Do you think possibly you're the kind of person that people avoid? Now, of course, if you are, you're not going to really know that, right? Because if they're successful at avoiding you, right, you'll never know. But a little bit of self-awareness, kind of think through that. What do you think? And as you think about the qualities in those people that you approach and the qualities of the people that you would tend to avoid, what qualities do you possess? Are you an affable person? Friendly? You like to talk with people? Are you genuinely interested in them and their families and what's going on? And hey, I heard you were visited Europe last month. How did that go? Are you genuinely interested in other people? Then, if so, I guarantee you're the kind of person that people will approach. Are you the kind of person who dominates conversations? Let me tell you about what I've been doing. Just got a new pipe. Let me show it to you. Let me talk about me. If so, it's a pretty sure bet that at least somebody has avoided talking with you. All right. So, chance encounter with a friend just kind of made me think about that. Love to know what your thoughts are on approaching and avoiding. Love to hear it. Folks, as Malcolm Guite likes to say, I do these little things in order at last to do nothing. As I like to say in Latin, Parva ago ut tandem, nihil agam. Have a wonderful day.